This is Aaron, host of the Omega Expedition. Like, share, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. Subscribe, all those things that make me more famous than you. But today we have a very special episode. It's my first unboxing of an item that I got for ghost hunting, and it's an EMF reader. Now, before we get to the unboxing, I'm just going to go to my handy dandy guide. It's Zach Baggins, host of Ghost Adventures, and it's called Ghost Hunting for Dummies. A basic background information from his book about EMF readers and how they're used and why they're used in ghost hunting. Three basic theories are as follows. Ghosts are made up of electromagnetic energy. They disrupt the energy in the location, or they use the energy to manifest. Now, any of all of these scenarios may be correct, which makes it possible, according to this book, for EMF meters to track energy that is beyond normal. Again, coming from Ghost Hunting for Dummies by Zach Baggins, host of Ghost Adventures. We're going to have ourselves a ghost adventure. Now, we're going to do more than just unbaggins. It's Baggins. Let me go back and correct. I'm not going to re-record it. His name's Zach Baggins. It helped that I call him that. People mispronounce my last name all the time. Shower. It's hard to say. It's lots of vowels. Baggins from Ghost Adventures. Make sure I correct that. I'm not just going to unbox the EMF reader. We're actually going to test it out. We're going to use it. We're going to find out to see if we can get some baseline readings. Let's get to the fun part. The unboxing of the EMF reader that I ordered off of Amazon.com. It's in a bag, so we're gonna unbag it first. Little tear. For those of y'all who've never gotten a bag, there you go. You just tear it like that, just like Christmas. Always like to smell the bag. Coming out of the bag, the EMF reader here, and I can show you this, and let's see if we can get a good focus on it. We have the I can't pronounce that. So we'll just call it the Joauiax Test Measure and Inspect EMF Tester. Model JMET01, if you want to get real specific. So let's get into this box. Got a little helper here. People like watching this. This is the most terrible part. It just creates trash. It's difficult. This particular EMF reader comes wrapped in plastic. Now it's just the box. I want this out of my way. Yeah, put it in this and set it aside. If you're looking for unboxing instructions, this may be the video for you. Take the box, open it up. Is this what, I don't watch these videos. What goes on in these unboxing videos? Inside of the box, we have the EMF reader, which is wrapped in bubble wrap. That's going to be fun later. Here you have the reader, okay? This up here is is probably the antenna, something you're not going to keep your hand around. And then this down here is going to show you the levels that you're getting, and I'm not going to read the instructions. On MET01, I don't know if that was the same thing I said earlier, with a 9-volt battery. That's how they get you. I'm talking to you and trying to cut the plastic off of the battery with a knife. Okay, I made it without cutting my finger open. Good. They really don't want you to get that battery because 9 volts are expensive. Fill your car with that. Without looking at the instructions, it looks like the battery will simply go here. I'm imagining I can take that off. It is a flip up, and it's got a little, one of those 9-volt dongles inside. So that's always fun. I'm going to place this into that thing. Snap, get it snug. Gonna get it snug in there. It's already making a noise, so we know we've done something right. And there you have the screen. It does come with an instruction manual. You can see here. It feels, just to talk about this for a second, it's plastic, it's not metal, but it feels good. It feels nice and easy to hold in your hand. It looks slick. I like the looks of it. Whether it works correctly or not, or whether it'll find a ghost, I can't say. It does come with an instruction manual. I'm not usually big on those, but since I'm so unfamiliar with this device, I'm going to go ahead and peruse it. I'm not going to make you watch the whole time I read this. Not only does it have an EMF reader in it, it also has an ambient temperature display and a flashlight. So I'm going to go in here and make some of those changes for you. You can see right here, I can change it. It says it's 21 degrees Celsius in here. I'm from America. I don't know what that means. So you can hold this button and change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius and back to something I can read, which is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This is telling me it's 7 degrees Fahrenheit in the room. And the reason I like this feature here is because something else we'll talk about outside of EMF is ghost hunters detecting cold spots and using that as evidence of there being a presence in the room. So this is kind of a two-in-one device. Hello, are there any ghosts here? That's not how it works, I think. Now I have it set to weird letters UT. I don't know what squiggly UT means or MA. That's for electricians. I'm a guy making a video. The book for dummies, Vegans, doesn't say anything about which it should use, but I can tell you, I've taken this device, you can read it. Right now, it's not picking up any electromagnetic fields right now. If I put my hand here, it's not. If there's a light over here, I'm surprised it's not. So we're an electromagnetic free zone right here, and presumably a ghost free zone. Let me see if I can find something electrical. You see me in the reflection. I've got this here. What better way to get some electromagnetic fields than a microwave? I'm going to turn on the microwave and let's see what happens. Oh, immediately. Whoa. Immediately. I gotta stop this. It hasn't picked up anything until I turned on the microwave. Let's see. This has a lot of electricity running through it. You can see it gives an alarm. Not as much as the microwave, but a little bit coming out of this ice thing in the... Let's just take a look at an appliance that's really not even on. You know, I'm nowhere near where it plugs in, but there's nothing coming through there. You know, me just standing in the middle of a modern house with lights on and everything running, internet and all like that, it's not picking up anything. Find a sweet ghost spot. So there is an electromagnetic field coming from the breaker. How far do we have to go back before that? That's just about 2 feet from the breaker before that goes back down to zero. Let's walk closer to the breaker. .73 degrees and zero, back about even a foot from that circuit breaker. Interesting. So after the unboxing of this device, the Joauiax, the Joauiax, and I thought my last name had a lot of vowels in it, MET01. It's nice to handle. It has some option. It gives you the ambient temperature. It wasn't what I expected. What I expected when I opened this thing and plugged it in is that it was just going to start going off all the time because there's lights on, there's the internet coming through here, there's TV, there's electromagnetic fields everywhere. But it's not doing anything until I get to something really close. And for the past 15 minutes that I've walked around with it, it hasn't done anything. Just to get some base readings. In other words, to answer the question, will this thing just go off for no reason? Let's do a little time-lapse video. I'll sit here and see what happens. So in that time-lapse video, I sat there for about 3 minutes before I got really, really bored. and nothing, it didn't go off. So last night I unboxed it and I've been learning a little bit more. So I had the squiggly UT thing. I switched to the milligauss MG reading, and I'll just show you some things that I found out in terms of establishing a baseline. Like I said, just sitting here in my house, it doesn't go off. Morning, night, I'm always on the job. Going back to here's where you see it. Okay, that's right up to the circuit breaker. Now coming back, at 0.5, about a foot away, 0.4, and I'm coming closer to the camera and it'll drop to 0 right about there. So that gives you an idea. I'm starting to see something. If I'm standing right here and suddenly this thing beeps or even moves a little bit, I'm going to be curious as to what caused that to happen. Just go back to the microwave and see how high it gets. All right. Overloading. Okay. So if I'm standing somewhere and I start getting triple digit overload readings, I'm probably going to run or walk very quickly. The thing has an auto power off, so I'm going to see if I can make it stay on, and then I'm going to do a time-lapse video because I have other things to do, folks. I am a man of many robes, and I'm going to go do some things and let that thing sit there in the room, in the middle of the room, and see if it ever goes off while I'm gone, and I'll do a time-lapse video. So just an explainer of what I've got going on here is I'm running a time-lapse video on the EMF reader to see if it just randomly goes off. It's sitting here by itself, time-lapse over here. This is a light. It's not even going off close to this light. It's set to milligausses. I just learned that word. And we'll see, you might see my hand come in and turn it on and off if it powers off by itself. Also running a stopwatch to see how long we go, to see if it just picks up, if it goes off, if it detects anything randomly. At this point, I don't think it would be necessarily random. I think it would have encountered some sort of electromagnetic field, whether that came from an airplane or something, or a ghost or whatever. As we saw last night, it's not just going off constantly. So if it goes off, something is happening. And that's going to be about 20 minutes worth of uninterrupted, well, aside from me powering it off and powering it on, time that it sat there and didn't go off. And again, what I'm trying to do is see if I get in any false alarms, see if I'm nowhere near a microwave or a circuit breaker and the thing goes off. And this will eliminate scrutiny. If I come to a place where it suddenly goes off, could it be a ghost or a spirit or just some electromagnetic field shooting through the area that I'm in? Sure. But we'll do a few more tests just to figure out if it will just go off. I'm going to try to find false alarms in places where it might go off randomly. And just to add, after reviewing the 20 minutes of the time-lapse footage, the meter never changed. It was functional because I did see the temperature change a few times, but not the milligausses. It didn't pick up any electromagnetic fields, in other words. So I'm hitting the road in any efforts to debunk or to see if I can get some false triggers from this device. And I'm in my car right now, and there's certainly a lot of electrical things. It's picking up a little bit. If I put it close to the, some of the electronics down here near the AC thing, you can hear it going off. In the middle of, as soon as I get it close to me, we're back to 0. Oh, I need washer fluid. Here comes the field reports. Just driving around the city in my car, I didn't even pick up whatever that's picking up, the EMF detector, electromagnetic fields. I didn't pick up a lot of that just driving around, and you might think, well, driving through a city, there's a lot of electricity, power. There could be microwave radiation actually coming through the air because of television stations and radio stations who might still, maybe not so much anymore, but used to at least, and there are still some in this area that use microwave transmitters. Now, they know better than to point that at a populated area. But, so just driving around town for now, 15, 20 minutes, the detector did not go off unless I brought it closer to some of the electronic items in the vehicle. But even right here with me inside of the car, at least, and you can say, well, it's a metal cage, so maybe it didn't pick up much. It's not going off. Let's take it somewhere more isolated. Now I'm off in even a more isolated place than in the middle of my house, which is in a pretty densely populated area, my dwelling place, or rather. So you could expect a lot of electromagnetic, radiation from various things. And does that detect all of that? I'm sure it has a built-in baseline. And you may say, Aaron, well, you're not using it right. It's not doing anything, and that's fine. We're here to learn. We're here to educate ourselves. The one thing I could say about this is that if that alarm went off while I was in a place that was supposedly haunted, I would be a little concerned, because you have to get pretty close to anything that's electronic, such as the back of the phone. I have to touch that antenna to the phone, and you'll hear it. Well, it's going up, it's going down. So I don't know the minimum amount of millijoules, milligeises, what was it? MGs that you have to pick up a ghost, and I'll look at that. But for this device, I would certainly say, out here kind of secluded in the middle of the woods. I'm not going to say it's way out in the country. It's certainly not. I am in the path of a landing strip of a smaller airport, but it's not going off at all. So if I were doing some sort of investigation and this device went off and this alarm went off, I would be surprised, to say the least. Is that a ghost? I don't know. This is getting long, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I think there's more I could learn, more I could say about it, but I'm going to wrap it up here. I will use this in an actual, I'll go somewhere that is supposedly haunted, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? There's a ghost. All right, for the Omega Expedition, this is Aaron Shower. Like it, share it, subscribe. Go check out my MySpace.